Hi, good evening all. As NRich HCM Solutions has completed its 8 years of exclusive HR practices consulting and services journey, they have been in this field by serving to different different companies which are into MSME sector and other all industries with their HR consulting services and HR skills trainings and HR placements also. And they have been serving the HR community with different kinds of activities of knowledge sharing and HR help desk on the name of HR round the clock. And these informal discussions on HR, different HR topics on the name of HR Satsang. So as a part of that HR Satsang discussions, this is one of the informal discussions we are going to have with all the panel members today here. And we are going to discuss on what are the qualities required for a person to create his or maybe to build his career in HR as per today's market conditions. Let's, I'm asking all the participants to introduce themselves so that we can get into the discussion. Thank you. Ram.
Thank you very much, Lavanya. I'm very much happy, glad to start this series of HR Satsang in this new season. It is a good mileage that we would like to bring in and wants to communicate to HR community about different HR topics on an informal platform called HR Satsang. Today being the first the episode of the series, this series, it's a very good start with the HR qualities which are required. So myself, Ram Akala, I'm the founder and CEO of NRich HCM Solutions, and I have a total 2 decades of experience in HR in different roles. And I'm graduated from IIM Lucknow, and I have a 2 postgraduate degrees from Pondicherry Central University, and many other many other management programs are there. Coming to this, the qualities of HR, everybody will have the same. The fundamental question is, what qualities that we need to have to be a successful HR in the industry? So many aspirants are coming every year. I think more than 5,90,000 plus people are completing their MBAs in all over India from different universities, different colleges, including top 20 institutions also. So all these people are getting accommodated into the industry every year. So out of which HR people would be somewhere around 1/3 of them. Maybe not 1/3, maybe around 150,000 plus people will be there every year. They're coming out from the colleges, freshly graduated in HR, and everybody looks for the there is an accommodation from the HR career part of it. Yes, definitely HR career is a fascinating, wonderful job, and it needs a lot of qualities which are required for that. So there are, fundamentally it is a good communication, understanding about the knowledge, subject knowledge or the job related knowledge, and moreover, most of the thing which is uncommon is the common sense. So most people will say that common sense is the common sense mean the presence of mind and the act fast. So these two things will combine that quality, and that acting fast is also very much required from the different people have told us over a period of time. Right? Let's continue with this. Let's take the opinion of other people also, and then continue with the discussion further. Right.
Nice, Ram. That was a great start to the discussion. So on this only, I just want to know, as you have told that there are almost all 150,000 MBA freshers that are entering into the market every time. How do you say, do we have any guarantee, or maybe is there anything like that all these people are going to be immediately taken by the market by whatever the skills that they are having as a fresher?
Actually, there is a process of accommodating these people into the market. Of course, everybody, when they started their business journey, every company will expect the HR people to be productive from day one. So people must be knowing about that. Being that profession or that career is very important. So people will say that we need experienced people. People always look for that. There is a accommodation that is happening as a interns, and there is a freshers also by giving the trainings, and people would be expected to take off their journey into that. And I say precisely, not even out of that 150 around, numbers might not be subjected to correction, but those in that, at least 25% of the people are getting accommodated. Probably that is a maximum percentage that I can say. Baki, whatever the 75% of the people are there are not directly getting any campus placements or something like this. All those things, right? So that is the that is the percentage which needs to be trained. So there are organizations like NRich HCM Solutions is also into the trainings part of it, under the banner of NRich HR Academy, is providing some skills to familiarize with uh, the operations part or the recruitment or the basic functionalities of the HR, whatever is happening actually. That needs to be accommodated, that needs to be familiarized, or giving some kind of a training after MBA. So practical training that is required for them to understand and to get the jobs very fast.
Well said, right? Bharti Garu, I think you have already been working with some of the education institutions, as well as you are already
Yes.
the academic
Yes.
side of also HR trainings and all those things. So I would like
Yes.
to know, like, what is your experience regarding?
See, I'm Bharti, working as HR consultant. I have experience from last 15 years or in HR operations and administration. What I have seen from the last 15 years of my experiences, HR plays a major role in the strategic planning also. So I would like Ram Garu to shed more on the light on this. What needs to be, HR personnel needs to do.
Definitely. Thank you, Bharti Garu, for throwing a challenge onto me. So, your question is, I can say it's too lengthy. So, you're asking about what is that these people need to do in the strategic part of it. See, strategic element will come to the people when, as their experience is getting up and the people are getting more experienced, and they can contribute towards the strategic part. Strategy, I mean, it's a long-term planning, and it is for the welfare of the employees and any company. From the people's perspective, if you talk about the strategy, people retention is the most important. People's performance need to be understood, and they need to be categorized with the different performance categories, and the performers who are there in the organization, they need to be retained. That is the long term plan for the organizations, or a strategic part in the organizations basically. So for which HR people need to help the management, and they need to contribute towards giving a lot of advisory role they need to play for that. So to get that advisory role or the capabilities, those will be built up over a period of time for those people. People who are experienced actually, they can foresee what is the things that can happen. And nowadays, a lot of AI and artificial intelligence and data analytics part are coming. So the decision making or the advisory aspects can be given based on the analytics what they are talking about.
Okay. Okay. Ram Garu, what HR needs to do to retain the employees with the organization?
Yeah.
Like
Basically the retention part, when you're talking about it, it is about the attrition also that you need to see. And retention means people should be there with you to stay with the organization. For which the other side of the coin is why people are leaving the organizations.
okay.
So there are 5 different reasons will be there. I mean, over a period of time, across industries, across global, geographic locations, they have conducted some kind of a survey, and those surveys are saying that the topmost 5 reasons why people are leaving the organizations are the compensation. I mean, first and foremost, people will say that compensation. There is a lack of performance recognition, lack of role clarity, lack of training opportunities, learning opportunities, and lack of whatever they learned, they should be able to apply those things, the opportunities for the growing up in that. right? So these are all the 5 different reasons why people will leave the organizations. When an organization takes up right kind of decisions related to these 5 elements, we can arrest the attrition much better, and we can manage the attrition much better. I'll not say that attrition would be zero. It will never be, but it will be under the control as per the industry norms, whatever it can be lower than that. That's where the employers will become the best employers they can become, so that they can retain more number of people, by which they would like to get more amount of the business that they can get it, because experienced, long term, and loyal people will stay with you. So the retention is these are all the retention mechanisms or the programs that you have to work around these things. You have to take care of these things that needs to be given, so that people will stay with the organizations. That is what we are from the HR consulting also we are suggesting to our clients basically from the last 8 years. And we are working on the effective people management frameworks that we are working with, and it all revolves. The central nerve is the performance of the employees. So retaining the performing employees, performers is the main core aspect.
Thank you. Very valuable suggestions you have given. And I have one more question for you. How to choose for the MBA freshers? How to start their career? So is it always better to start with small and middle organizations, or it is always better to start with the MNCs? What do you suggest for them? How to choose their organization?
Actually, there is no thumb rule that you have to start with smaller organizations and you need to grow. You should not get into the MNCs. You will not have this. No. There is no such kind of a thumb rule. Wherever that you get an opportunity, please go ahead. The first session that I'll give. If at all you are getting, some entry towards the HR related activities, and please get into, so that you will understand the experience, the organizational setup, the decisions, the kind of activities that people will do, how coherently these people are doing, coming under one roof. So all these things you will get exposed to. Then you will understand really the role of the HR or the people's person, right? In taking up the, within that span of people management related realm that you will be into. So that is what is the most important thing. So whatever the type of chance that you get, please get into it. That is what is the first suggestion I'll give you. For some reasons, if the people are not able to crack or get a breakthrough into these things, second session that I can give it to them is, please undergo some training programs, skill development programs, because the MBAs, the curriculum, whatever that we are having in India today, whatever the trainings or curriculums that we are having, the academic stuff it is not sufficient for the organization, for the new students to start from the day one, being productive from day one. So that any of the educational institutions or any other private institutions are upskilling your HR skills, please find out and go and start getting familiarized with the practical experiences. That is the second suggestion that I can give it to you. It is always better to get trained and certified apart from your university or academic stuff, whatever that you're getting. Third suggestion that I would like to give it is, people who are already into this industry, stalwarts of HR, veterans or experienced professionals, any functional experts in HR gamut, actually, you please talk to them. Keep on get in touch with them through LinkedIn or through any of the social media. Attend the HR webinars, seminars. All right, you can attend the panel discussions wherever that it happens. Actually, please don't leave that chance. That is where you will get a lot of networking. That is where you will get a lot of knowledge about those things, and that exposure can give you a better chance. Your chances will increase more than 70% than the person who is not attending these things. So these 3 sessions are very fundamentally can be given to the freshers who wants to get a break.
Thank you.
Very, very rightly shared your thoughts. I was just to ask about the same, like if I want to get into a career, that's what the biggest question everybody will be having as a question. And we are discussing about the thing is how they need to prepare themselves to get into the market. Then first of all, as you rightly said, the communication and their subject related knowledge and all those things are very much required. At the same time, what to choose, is it going to make a clear path for me or not, is going to be a very confusing thing for the freshers most of the times. So there sometimes there are some preconceived notions also, like if I join the MNC, then my life would be like in limelight, and I won't have to look back and all. And sometimes what they feel is, if I join any kind of mid-level company or maybe smaller sector companies, then I would get an opportunity to serve everywhere, so that I can understand all the scenarios of HR, and it would help me to get an experience. So both the things are very much required. At the same time, getting ready for this kind of scenarios, attitude makes a lot of difference there. We always speak about that when we speak about the talent acquisition part, right? So when we are, when I am getting ready for a particular career as a fresher, how I need to get ready for an interview, what kind of thought process I should have. Because if I want to start my career as a HR executive, it could be operational side or it could be talent acquisition side, two ways that can start with. So I would like to know, if I want to apply for a talent acquisition role, then as a fresher, what should be my preparation? And if I want to prepare for a HR operations role, then what should be my preparation?
Good. There are two questions that I'm seeing. These are all combined here. One is, as per the role, whatever that I need to get prepared for. Another is, in general, whatever it might be the role, whether operations or talent acquisition. What is the general attitude for a HR person it needs to be? Is it something different from the other professions where people are taking? Probably. That is what I understood. I'll answer the general attitude first, and then I'll go to the talent acquisition and the operations separately. Right? I'll give three answers. One is the general attitude for a HR person must be there. Of course, anyway, the qualities, whatever that we discussed so far, that must be there. Attitude towards HR should be like they should be like a people's person. If your attitude, if you are a affinity towards people, right, you would love to talk to people, and you would like to understand people, and you would like to be mingling with the people, and all, HR is the best profession for you. And that is a good thing for even for marketing also, because you are going to talk to people, right? So if you are not you're feeling bothered if the people are coming to you, then probably this profession might not suit to you 100%. So that's where people affinity is the first thing. First attitude must be, you must be very much congenial, and you are comfortable in listening to people without having any judgment, understanding their problems, and you have to have some kind of empathy towards the people. This is all put together, we'll call it as an affinity towards people. Your aura must accept the people to interact with you. That is the first foremost thing you must be having. Second thing is, you need to be a good communicator. Of course, communication is the thing, but communicator in the sense, you should be able to be bridge between the employer and the employee segment, both the things. You must be neutral. You should not take the partial towards that. Generally what happens is, because there is a compulsion, because there is a force from the management side of it, HR people also will take certain kind of, it seems that they will take a side of the management and just pushing everything onto the employee side of it. And people always scold about, they'll always take, HR as their villain. Right? That is there. So you must be bridge between the employer and the employee part of it. And third thing is, you must be ready to serve. You need to understand fundamentally, you should have that service mindset with the people, because you are the central nerve for the entire organization, whether you accept it or not, whether you realize it or not, but you are the central nerve of the organization. Whatever comes, first it will come to the HR part of it. And they should be able to be very much trustworthy. Otherwise, people will skip you and they will go through that. You will not get any information to you, and people will talk with, among themselves, and the news also will come to you lastly. But you should be the person who needs to get it first. That means you need to raise the trust among us people, right? Trust among us people will come only with the whenever you are making any kind of a word or any thought, any word or any deed that you are making should be in linear with that. That personal integrity must be there with you, and you have to be trustworthy. Then only people will come and they'll talk to you. Yeah, you're a neutral party, understand that. So these are all the general attitude related aspects that we need to highlight for a person who needs to, who wish to take HR profession, or who are already into the HR profession. They need to inculcate. These things are not just like, mm, uh, these are all learnable skills. Not that you cannot achieve those things. These are all learnable skills, right? So that is about the general attitude. When it comes to the recruitments, what could be the attitude as per the functional aspects, if we can see? One is anyway subject knowledge must be there, that how to source, screen, shortlist, and in conducting the interviews, assessments, and after that some kind of a negotiation and making the people to stay with you, or during their notice periods you should be able to engage them till they join with you. So those things that anyway you have to take up as a functional skill that you can take care of. But attitude wise, you need to be again, most the communication, you're the central point of it, and you need to be very much what I can say, mm, you are like a better, you have to get the feedback, and you need to be very what I can say, empowering the people with the information. One point that we'll see, especially one complaint that we'll see from the recruiters, is they don't give feedback right after the interviews. Actually, they don't communicate, they don't inform, they don't give, they'll inform but they'll not give complete information. So you need to inform on time, as well as you should be able to give complete information also, so that with that information all the job seekers will get empowered with the information whatever that you are giving, so that they can take a wise decision to join with you. That is where your differentiation will come from a successful talent acquisition person and a mediocre talent acquisition person. So that is what we need to keep it in mind, right? There's nothing to hide actually about the company. All right. So what is that you will hide? Whenever people will ask for that, people will have some kind of questions and how their career will be, enhanced by joining with you. Unless until you don't provide that kind of information to the job seeker, they cannot get that. They cannot take a decision to join with you, right? So if they are asking about the company, and you are saying that go and check in our website. That website is prepared for the customers, not for the job seekers. Maybe one page would be there, maybe as a culture or careers kind of things and all. But most of the organizations websites doesn't give any kind of a right information. You are the spokesperson. And moreover, as a talent acquisition person, another thing that you need to have, you are the person who is peeping out your head out of the organization and seeking what is happening actually. So that information you should be able to give it to the, what is the market that is looking at the recruitment market, what it is doing, so that you can adjust, you can course correct the ideologies of different department heads and other people, talking about what is the resources size, what is the availability, at what cost they are, what is the employer's credibility, or what is the pull factor to your organization. A lot of things matters actually. So as a talent acquisition person, you have a key role to play in defining the organization with the right set of the talent or skilled people will come into your organization. So that is very important. And coming to the operations person, whenever we are taking them into, what kind of things that we need to look into them is, they must be high precision with the this is for what, excellence. Operational excellence is the main goal of an operations person. That means impeccable, without getting any deviations. Follow the process as it is, follow the policies as it is, implement them, and then see what is the kind of troubles or the problems that are coming, that are entangling with each other. Then you can course correct in the policies by speaking to the management, and then you can see that by implementing them, so that you are getting it uniformly applied to everybody. There is no partiality. Then people will have a lot of trust. Whatever that is there in the system, people are following as it is. It is not for you some kind of a partiality. Some other person there is another kind of thing. So people will follow the same rule for everybody across. Then that is known, and everybody knows about that, and they can take a decision, powerful decisions. And company is also applying the same kind of things, especially in the leave aspects. I'll give you an example. Especially from the leave perspective, when we are taking, actually, there is a leave policy, there are leave rules and the guidelines, when the loss of pay will happen, and what is the eligibilities of the leaves that people can take. So they can follow as it is for everybody. So everybody knows about that. Even leave policy also thoroughly known to every employee, so that whenever they are applying for the leave, whether it comes in the loss of pay, or whether it is eligible limits, or whether it is in my leave credit or not, everything that everybody will get to know about. So then there is no question of going against or thinking against HR. Nobody will have such kind of a feelings under. There is a partiality, or people are favor to certain people, certain group of people. So such kind of groupism, group dynamics, or any other negative ill effects will not be in the organizations. Actually. And another thing that we need to see is they are the custodians of the work culture. Work culture here, I would like to say, is the common beliefs and practices, right? So they need to ensure that that particular work culture can be upholded better every time. So that is where operational excellence will come, culture will get upholded, and the policies are whatever the implementations are, rules, guidelines, because all the people have to come under one roof, and people are from different backgrounds that people are coming. They are working under one roof for a common goal. So obviously there should be common rules for them to conduct themselves in a better way. So it is the operations person's perspective they need to look into. Again, apart from the subject or functional knowledge, so how do they maintain the employee data? How do they conduct their payroll related things and confidentiality management, or any compliance related aspects that people are taking care of it, right? So all these things, the related aspects that will be taken care of, so that operations person can get a wonderful career mileage will come for them, basically. So all these things can be learned from people who are experienced people when you are talking to them. Even in the other question when I answered for that. So whenever you are meeting the veterans or seniors or any organizations like NRich HCM is conducting a lot of workshops and other things and all, you'll get to know about the people's pulse. You'll get to know about the best practices that are there in the industry, and people who suffered and came out of that and course corrected. So those people will give you a right kind of practical information to you that gives you more empowerment for that, right? Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. So that is what actually required coming to the attitude part. And when it comes to, let us say, and fresher has joined the organization and he has to communicate with everybody. And we'll be having people in the organization at different experience levels.
Right.
Right. So when a fresher joins, definitely we all know how they will be treated. Like they are all small kids and they don't have any kind of experience and all, and they cannot they cannot conduct themselves with a more dignified way because of their lack of experience. That's nothing but
Correct.
lack of experience. So at that time, some people will be there who will be treating them as if they are taken as granted, and some people will be there, they listen to them, and some people they completely neglect them. Right? We find all kinds of people over there. So people who listen to them and who want to help them, that category is very much good, and we don't have to bother about that category. But how to deal with the other two categories is what moreover required here, right? So at that time, I think communication should play the major role. So as we mostly discuss about the stature upkeepment, so how they should get groomed in that aspect, these freshers, how they can conduct themselves well among all kinds of people.
So coming to freshers conducting themselves in the organization without getting victimized by the certain section of the people, right? How do they conduct themselves? That is what is your question is. Generally, we can say that we don't want them to be left alone in the battlefield. So some kind of a mentor-mentee program, some mentor must be there with them till they get accustomed. As a new employee, I mean, he's also an employee. So as a new employee, he is new to that particular environment. So creating such kind of familiarity, right, and giving them the right kind of directions, that needs to be, somebody has to take responsibility of it, from the HR department, HR heads or any leads or somebody else can take care of them. So mentor mentee program must have. In fact, not only for HR, Lavanya, I say that it is for everybody who is joining as a new employee, new entrant, or the first job that they are getting into. They need to be handholded because they don't have any kind of a familiarity about the work environment. People might behave in their own known styles that people will go for. Somebody has to um, help them actually to get to know about those things. That needs to happen. Even HR people are also not an exception in that particular aspect actually. So once they get some kind of familiarity with the people, with the process and everything, and they will be interacting with the different people compared to other departments employees. HR department people may have to interact with different levels of people also, right? Over a period of time, they will get introduced to different kinds of people, and they'll also talk to them. They'll also get the information. They'll also help the other departments people also by the instructions of their heads, their supervisors or the managers. So obviously there needs to be some kind of a mentor mentee program would always help them actually to go for that. As I rightly said, if they want to have such kind of a familiarities or what kind of things may go wrong, also need to be known to them at the beginning. So what type of mails they need to write, what kind of salutation they need to use, what kind of communication they need to make, where they have to behave, and what kind of follow-up that they can do. Probably people might be doing that, as an entrant and a fresh recruiter, they might be following up about the interviews that were happened. I mean, on that day, same day itself. So if the people are following up too much with the department heads and all, people might be having some kind of other works and all. People might not be taking it in a positive way, right? So what is the culture of the organization that somebody has to tell them? So you do the follow up and make it everything. Some companies might be having some kind of, everything will happen through writing mails itself, mail exchange itself, not the personal aspect. So depending on the organization's style or the culture or the way the practices would have been established, they need to communicate and they need to talk to people, and they will learn over a period of time. So till that time, managers need to help them, and these people also need to be humble to learn from everybody. So that 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 is the only the best method to go. That is the same. Otherwise, there's no specific. See, people, every type of people will be there everywhere. So obviously, people may get taken granted and victimized kind of things. The only resort for them is their managers, their hierarchy.
Absolutely. Because a fresher is the one who needs a hand holding for a little bit of time,
Absolutely.
so that they can get adjusted with the systems and
Even I can suggest that one external mentor is also might be maybe like a coach, right? Who knows about these kind of things, the management related and other things. They can guide them properly. I have done a lot of such kind of mentoring for so many people. If they got any problem and all, they used to call me, Ram, this is what is the situation. How do I encounter that? How do I contemplate? How do I think? How do I respond back to them? This is what is the challenge that I'm facing. So then I suggested them in a very amicable ways how they can move forward, and after that they got a wonderful results also, and those things have worked very well in their work environments. So I got the news from the ground level realities, and being such kind of things that I have worked, for which actually our HR help desk has worked wonderfully from the last 8 years. Because a lot of people are getting they are coming up to, it's a free service. Anybody who is a HR can make a call to us. It's a 24/7 help desk, and people can make a call. We are calling it as a HR round the clock. So people used to call. They'll ask a lot of questions. Even in the COVID times also, they were very much surprised about how to do the payroll, because people are coming, people are not coming, which is a holiday, which is not a holiday, and the company wants to cut down the salaries, and some people they don't want to pay. A lot of stuff that is there, and a lot of ambiguity is there, confusion is there. At that time also, we helped a lot during those days and all. So that April 2020, April, May, June. So those early months of the payments, lockdowns, and all these things. So that was the second lockdown. Anyway, it got eased out. But a lot of questions, such kind of critical situations, to any of the normal general questions also, how to handle their bosses, or how to handle a tough communication, how do they communicate via emails, or is it in writing or in person that we need to talk. Sometimes, according to the situation, they can intelligently or very tactfully they need to answer and respond to such kind of things. So these things will come from the experienced mind. So obviously, we always encourage people to come up to us and talk to us on the HR help desk and get the services also from that. It's a free service, right? That's how I got to know about the ground level realities also, and through that people got benefited. So from that experience, I'm able to tell you these suggestions.
Very true. I've been looking into the things since past 8 years, and I have seen that many of the people are coming up with
Yeah.
lots and lots of questions, and sometimes
Yes.
repeatedly also they will be asking, and the answers were really great to resolve their situations. Sometimes I feel surprised when the people who have got trained from NRich HR Academy, they themselves will be answering the questions without the
Yeah.
admin's interference and all. That gives us a lot of
Mm.
happiness also. And this community service is what very much required for HR fraternity, as we always been discussed, like, because for all the other professions, I think there are some guidelines and rule books and all those things are readily available from where they can easily check it out, and they can follow the things. But when it
Yeah.
comes to HR, it is a universal subject, and we don't have any kind of rule book. Everybody will frame their own rules and regulations, and everybody will follow their own systems and processes. That's where most of the confusion most time
Exactly.
it arrives. And coming up to the best practices part, that is what I have seen from NRich particularly, that has been delivered every time, and the clients responses were very much positive to the service about the people. So at the same time, I would like to ask, like, we have been discussing more about the freshers and all, and how they need to have their attitude and communication. And yes, of course, upskilling is also very much required and all. At the same time, we also have seen, like, some of the people, they want to shift their career from other fields, maybe some other professions, because of their own reasons and all, right? So are they really going to fit into the HR if they are coming from IT sector, or maybe, developers, or maybe some people who are there in career break or something like that. There are so many people, those will be coming like that, and they want to create a career path in HR. So in the midst of their life, out of blues, we can say, I think, suddenly they appear and they want to make the career. Is it really possible? Is the market is going to welcome them with warmness or not? How they need
Um,
to prepare themselves?
the first fundamental litmus test that they need to make it is uh, why they are willing to get into HR. Is it because of the pressure in their current job? So that's where they would like to move to change their career path to HR. Sorry. Or are they really passionate about that particular HR activities? How much they know the nitty gritties of HR job, based on which, if they are taking a decision that they would like to get into HR on a positive note with a lot of enthusiasm, and they would like to contribute to the in this particular aspect, that is most happiest thing. Otherwise, if they want to get into some pressure is there, so low pressure activity, if they are thinking that it is a low pressure activity and more of a desk job related kind of things, and more of just managing and speaking to people here and there and all, I think their perspective needs to be checked first as a litmus test. And second thing is, it is also need to be taken into consideration that once you are changing from any profession to another profession, it means you already taken a ladder and leaned against a particular wall, and you raised up to certain extent. Now whenever you want to make a change, you have to get down from all the steps of that particular ladder, again take the ladder, go and put it against another lean against another wall, and you have to take the step right from one itself. So do you have that kind of a time, patience, and will you be able to take up that the financial drop down or whatever that you get, right? So Can you sustain with those things? And that is very important. And people, as you rightly said, the midterm, mid-age, or you use certain things like, after the age of certain age of, maybe, I don't know whether it is a midterm, mid-age means maybe around 30s, 40s. Probably after having 10, 15 years of experience in one area, then you would like to make a change or something. Then it needs to be, it needs to be thought thoroughly, because you will have a lot of responsibilities financially. You have to adjust a lot of things from the work life kind of things, and if you have that kind of a financial stability, and that you can take care of it, so out of interest, if you are coming into this, probably yes, you can do that. There are certain areas where you can get a lateral entry into HR, and you can start with it. And one more, the best thing that I would suggest for such kind of people is the recruitment. Recruitment is the area, or the functional area, though it is a very prominent, but it can be, you can take a lateral entry anytime, and you need not be associated with any of the companies actually as an employee. You can start off your own, right? And you can do it independently. It is also recession free. Okay, it is also highest paid profession. Basically, you can make it as a professional aspect. I would suggest people who are interested in HR, wants to contribute in HR, and wants to be part of the HR community, better they can get an entry into the recruitments, provided their financial time and other efforts are being sustained and can be taken care of till they get some kind of a experience into this particular. So otherwise, I would suggest that check with yourself what is the first litmus test, whatever I said. First, you check with yourself. Out of pressure you are coming, out of enthusiasm you are getting into this, out of passion that you are getting into it. Do you know about HR profession nitty-gritties completely? If not, please check with any of the experienced HR professional and ask them what are the risks, what are the toughness, right? And what are the pains and pleasures, both. You should be able to understand that and then take a decision. So that is what I can suggest.
Absolutely, because even if there is a career break or maybe another career which you want to take up right from the beginning, they can be counted as a fresher only, where they have to restart their career right from the scratch. So they should get know about themselves, and then only they can step
If
forward.
at all, one more point I would like to add here. If at all people are already into HR profession, for some reasons they took a break, maybe maternity, maybe due to accident, or due to any of the positive or negative, whatever the reasons that people have taken a stop, and then again they would like to start, right? So then, for them, obviously, this suggestion I need not give it to. They can start their career. Yes, there are opportunities that companies are giving it to them, and it is only thing is how do you present yourself and what kind of contributions that you would like to make, and how you are upgraded your knowledge, and you are along with the current trends that you are going. So for that also you have to take some kind of a course, upskill yourself, get a training, and then you restart your career again into HR. So the bus wherever you got down, so maybe another bus will take you up to that extent. So some distance that you need to travel with some kind of upgraded trends and other things, and then you can take off again. You can start with that, so that your previous experience also will be counted, and the current upskilled, whatever the things that you got will also holds good for you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Right, because this is what actually these kind of suggestions are very much required for this condition in the market, because there has been a lot of imbalances and restructuring their lives, and many of the people are jumping from one place to the other to settle themselves so that they can have a secured life and all. There has been a lot of confusion prevailing in the market. So that's where
Correct.
these kind of inputs, if they get directly from the seniors like you, that will help them to take right decisions. They can, at least they can get to know like whom I need to go and speak, because that kind of insecurity is also with them. Because if I have a confusion, then I need to know whom I go and whom to go, where to go, whom to ask. Is he going to give me the right suggestion, or you just let, I have got an opportunity, let us grab this guy. That is what mostly that is being seen in the market today. So that's where this kind of guidance is very much required. And yes, this is the right thing, I think, you have given a guidance for. So then, Bharti garu, I think you also can share your experience regarding, because you have been speaking to so many people who want to shift their careers, who want to start their career right as a specialist in a particular, role, and all those things you might be listening daily, right? So
Yes.
I would like to know, like, what is your experience while speaking to them? How do you feel? What kind of thought process they might be sharing with you, and how you will be speaking?
Yeah, nowadays I've seen many of the new freshers are new who are coming into the MNCs and all. They are more interested in HR field nowadays. So they are upskilling themselves through the current trends of HR, and they feel that HR plays on top of the all other things. So people are getting very much interested, and they're learning new best practices in HR from different courses like talent management, whatever it is. So, seeing it is getting more and more elevated nowadays. So
Yeah,
that's
I would, absolutely, I would be in sync with your thought. So HR is really an amazing job.
hmm,
It's beautiful and it is a wonderful profession actually. Though in between Lavani garu told that there is no governance or there is no, regulatory body to make it as a professional practice.
hmm,
But
yeah,
HR is a wonderful job where a lot of creativity and innovation is there.
yes,
A
yes,
lot of new and challenging aspects would come to you, and there are certain, recognitions and appreciations are also
and
available.
mostly they deal with the people, not with the machines. Yeah,
Dealing with the people,
yes,
and especially you know, these people will have a different set of activities, a combination of, a lot of other activities will be there. It's not just like a coding itself. It's not like just
yeah,
only one kind of activity itself that they have to do repeatedly. It's not like that. They can do different, multiple tasks, and
hmm,
those things will come under one particular profession. So it's a very beautiful and wonderful journey being into HR career. So provided we have to have that kind of, as I told you, that inculcated mind or a
hmm,
positive mind towards that particular general affinity towards the people. That attitude is there. And obviously, nothing is a painful kind of thing. So yeah, challenges would be there.
hmm,
I don't deny it, but nothing is painful to leave the profession.
hmm,
So people who are leaving HR and going into the other things are very rare, basically.
hmm, yeah,
And that to maximum people who left, maybe that in that also people who left could be the pressures that they have taken from the talent acquisition they couldn't place, and they couldn't prove themselves because of the external reasons, not because of their potential, not because of their capability. But people are got fed up with such kind of things, and probably the recruitment side, more people have turned back from HR, but most of the people are looking at HR,
Hey,
and it's going to be wonderful
yes, yes,
profession.
in this context, I would like to say, like, as Bharti has told, that they will be working more with people, not with machines. Yes, that's where most of the HRs, I mean, there is a myth, I
Ah.
can say, in most of the people, like, I can have my own cabin and I'll be sitting over there working on the desk. That is not the HR kind of thing. They should be roaming around. So some of the HRs are getting, laughed at also for this kind of attitude. Like, they need to roam around, they need to observe, they need to mingle with people, they need to see the real case
yes,
scenario, what's
yes,
happening on the floor.
Now,
So yeah,
nowadays, the organizations, there is an open cabin culture has come. There is no
hmm,
closed cabins, or
yes,
there is no closed, except for discussions or other things. There could be meeting rooms, but
yes,
everybody are including CEOs also will have a open cabin culture has
yes,
come. Right?
true.
That is the most welcoming change that has
yes,
come, especially from the, anything that comes, a new change that comes, actually IT industry will first grab it, and
Mm.
it will adapt to those things very quickly. So
hmm,
the IT industry, you can see the lot of open cabin culture has come. So that is also most welcoming aspect.
yes,
It's true. This is how, I mean, for people who are really empathetic and people's people, who are the people who are into people. definitely they can enjoy this HR role as much as anybody can. But yes, first of all, they need to have a clarity on the career path, like how they want to go. For that, first, I think taking a career guidance from anybody who is a senior in that particular profession is very much required before deciding how they want to go. And sometimes what happens is because of this confusion, as we discussed earlier, they don't know where to go and how to go. They can take some kind of decisions which may, I mean, boomerang, right? So there, first of all, anybody, I feel like today's education is not completely sufficing the market needs.
Yes.
They are not job ready, actually. People are well educated. They're having their certifications and all. They have their subject knowledge also. They'll be answering every question that is present in their syllabus and all. But coming to the actual scenario, they are not ready how they need to face the market, how they need to get ready for the interviews and all, how they need to apply for the job, or maybe even after joining the job also, how they need to behave on the floor. These are the actual things they need to learn when they have to implement, right, in their life. So for all these things, they need to come to a particular place where they can get a right kind of guidance. The career guidance is very much required. That applies to HR also. And I feel this kind of clarity is very much required to be, given by seniors like you, because I feel like HR is the one who is going to show the career path to entire organization.
Yes.
Am I right? When, as you said in talent acquisition part, when we are discussing, that he is the one who peeps into the market. He is the one who brands the company also, right? So that when discussing with the client, candidate, then he also need to be able to show the path, like when he joins the organization, how his career is going to be with the organization down the line, 5 years, maybe 2 years or 10 years, however he might be planning. Of course, we are not expecting 10 years these days, but still we can have a career path so that the candidate will get an idea, like, yes, if I be there with this company, then I can grow like this can be my path, I can choose this one. So the same way, first of all, he need to know what is the importance of this career path, and he need to decide, and then only he can be ready, future ready to guide other people also in that way, right? So career path, that is what I think needs to be included in the syllabus also these coming days, so that they can get empowered with decision making.
Correct. Not only, companies will have this kind of a questions. What is the career path that I need to create for my employees? This is the biggest, challenge that people are facing nowadays. So, creating a career path for an employee and showing it up is a what I can call it as a strategic activity. This can have a lot of understanding about the org structure, the promotion policies, succession planning, the compensation related effects or impacts on that particular thing, and the performance remarks, whatever they are getting for those employees whom they wish to continue and to retain them. So a lot of things that are entangled with that particular thing. So career path, defining the career path for an employee is not that easy. And also, there is no thumb rule that people can adopt just like that. But yes, we can have certain frameworks about the career path for employees, and if we can apply such kind of best practices, then automatically this can be taken, because a lot of companies have already implemented the career path showing and everything. They have done it already. So it is the best cues that can be taken, the best practices can be taken, and that's what we can do for that. Right. Great. Anyway, thank you. Thank you very much.
Ram, wonderful. That
So
was a
we can
wonderful
conclude.
discussion we had it with all the points. Like we have seen like how the freshers' attitude should be, how the communication should happen, how they need to carry themselves on the floor, and maybe the people who want to change their career, or maybe who are having the career gap also, how they can restart, and what kind of points they need to check out before they step into that, and how to decide, and even how the career guidance should be taken by the people, and how to upskill themselves. I think we had a lot of discussion on many of the points, which are wonderful inputs for the freshers and people who want to make the career in HR. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and sparing your time. We are very much happy, and we are going to meet in the next discussion with some other wonderful and interesting topics.
Very soon. Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Definitely
Thank
will
you so
continue
much
these.
to you all.
we'll continue the series of the HR Satsang, and we'll try to address so many topics that we can have. So
Yes.
interested people who would like to join can contact us, and they can also join with us in the discussion. And you can also share your opinions in the podium. And these things will be given it to all the, this is open for the every HR person who is interested in that.
Yes.
They can take these series of these things. Recordings will be there in our YouTube channel also. Right. Very soon we'll come back to you with another topic, interesting topics that we can discuss about. Right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Thanks for the
Yes.
moderation, Lavanya and Bharati Garu.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, stay tuned to watch more videos on YouTube, NRich YouTube channel. Definitely, we are coming up with more and more interesting topics, and more people are going to participate in things. And yes, thank you so much to all of you. We shall meet again in the next video. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.